All right. So that is how a pretty typical meeting goes. We just bop on. Usually we go through a whole bunch of data. So we usually have like projection and actual like pitch count, closes, revenue. We'll go over like 24-hour turnaround time, things of that nature. But Kimmy's off this week and she does data. So I told her just don't worry about, jumping on to do that every day. We'll just kind of take a week of, not anything being super, super up to date, but I do track everything on the back end. So, all right, let's jump in.
Perfect.
Week 1, day 2, ready to rock and roll. How you feeling? Is your brain turning into mashed potatoes yet or no?
No. I've worked at startups where every day is like I feel like I'm working for a new company, so I'm
Perfect.
just chilling out here for now.
Good. Thank God. I know onboarding can be a little crazy. So, one thing that we didn't get to yesterday that I wanted to talk about was the call framework. So we do have basically a Google Doc that we take all of our call notes on. So I'll share this with you, but this is going to be a super important doc. You will upload, you don't have to upload, you can literally just copy and paste the notes into your booking tracker. So we have the call framework. When we get on a call, what you're going to do is just make a copy. Don't write on like the actual doc because it's,
Yeah,
so make a copy
everyone has
of
it.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you'll go through what I do. I like to fill these out in the morning just for, the people that I have confirmed for the day. So was, person's name, did we record the call? Yes or no? This will almost always be a yes, unless they've said, I don't feel comfortable with my call being recorded, or unless they tell you don't record my call. Otherwise, we're just going to record them every time. The reason
Cool.
for that is a couple things. One, we like to watch our calls back. We like to do game film. We'll do, even on the breakout group, sometimes we'll go into like role play and game film. We also just want to use it to protect ourselves because we have had people in the past be like, don't this, this closer never told me that, or I didn't know this thing. And it's like, yes, you did. We talked about it, but here's the recording. So we like to just say, was this recorded? Yes or no? And then these are this is basically our script for the discovery section. So you don't have to have the script pulled up with this. We're just going to go through and get to know them. So as we go through this, we want to figure out why are they here, right? What is their burning desire? What is their why? What motivates them, right? And we want to fill that in. So we're going to, fill in all the information here. What do they do for work? How much are they bringing in? If they're doing anything online, what does that look like? Most of the time, staff is going to be 0. Most
Yeah.
people that are coming to us don't have any staff yet. They're, trying to figure that side out if they're already in business or they're brand new and they've not gotten to that point. So kind of where are they at now? Where are they at now with online? And then I like to do a little overview here. If with the overview, I'll include like certifications they have, how long they've been coaching for, just a little blip about their current situation. And then what are their goals? This is going to be what are their revenue goals? What are their, lifestyle goals? So just put all their goals on here. Any mindset or business challenges they're facing. Tried is a good one too. So what have they tried? Are they running ads? Are they doing social media outreach? Have they tried going door to door with business cards or flyers? What are they doing right now to find clientele or to get their business off the ground? What do they need? I kind of tied need and what they're looking for in a coach together. So a lot of times I'll delete this one and just tie it in here, but it's up to you. What do they feel like they need in order to be successful? Typically, that's a blueprint, a plan, accountability. I need to learn more about marketing. And then I always like to ask, what do they need from a coach? Because again, we have a lot of coaches and a lot of personality types. So if they need somebody who's going to like hold their hand and be their cheerleader and woo woo, I'm not going to set them up with Christy because she is intense, right? So if somebody,
Yeah, I was reading through it was like good with military men, martial arts,
yes,
is not the rah-rah cheerleader type. I
no,
was like,
no.
fair.
And Christy's great, but she's very much like, let's fucking go. Like,
Yeah, like hard nose,
yes.
like
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. So the other, like the polar opposite of that would be like Jackie. She's very good at what she does. She's very sweet. She's definitely that cheerleader, but she can keep people on track, right? She's,
yeah.
she's that happy medium. So everyone's a little bit different. Lacey is our mindset coach. She works one-on-one with people. She can be a little intense. She's not the let's look into our inner being and be our best self. She's like, she's intense. She's gonna be a little bit more on the Christy side, but she's a single mom, so she's good with the people that have kids and all that. So yeah, we want to just what do they need in general? What do they need from a coach? And you can always tie those into the same paragraph here if you don't want to, blip anything here. Pain points. What are they struggling with? What's the current stressors in their life? Usually like so for example, my guy yesterday, right now, the pain points in his life is that he works 5 a.m. to 4 p.m. Him and his wife are trying to have a baby. He can't work 11 hours a day forever or his wife will fucking kill him. That's a pain point. Working 11 hours a day. making great money in person, but no flexibility online, trying to have a baby, paying for fertility treatments. Those are all pain points in his life that I want to bring up at the end of the call to say, you need this because all of these things will be solved if you have more time. So just what are the pain points that this person's experiencing, so that way you don't forget to bring it back up. Human needs. Have you ever heard of like human needs sales? It's kind of unique.
I've heard of like, well, because I was a psychology student, like the main human needs. So like food,
Yep.
Water, like love, community, like stuff like that. But I don't know if that's like the same thing.
Not in sales, but I'll kind of go through this with you. If you can identify their human need, I would write it here. There are a few, so I'll open that up when we go over the script, but they're kind of right at the top of the sales script. There are 6. The 6 human needs for like success long term. So certainty. This is one that you'll see a lot. The ones we see a lot are going to be certainty, growth, and contribution. So certainty is, they need to know that what we're teaching works. They're the ones that want to see the processes. They need to see the systems. They need to see the structure. They need to see the results. They need to see how things work in order to make a decision. We almost never see these people, the people that need variety and uncertainty. Nobody starts a business because they think it'll be terrifying, right? That's not like, ooh,
Yeah.
crazy. I'm randomly start a business. That's not something we see a lot. Connection, sort of. Not one that we see a lot, but people who want to be like very community focused, they want to be a part of NLCA because of the coaching calls, because of the community, because they're, feeling alone or whatever it is. Significance is one we may see here and there, but your top 3 are going to be certainty, growth, and contribution. So the need to feel significant, this will be people that throw around like, yeah, I want to be just like Chad, or I want to be just like Alex Hormozi, or I want to be just like this person, who have goals to have like higher status in their life. Growth, this one you'll see a ton. These are the people that I want to hit 10K. I want to have an empire. I'm trying to make it big. They want more out of life. And then contribution. These are the people who you're going to say, why are we here? And like, I want to help people. I want to change lives. Those are going to be your, contributors. So contribution and growth are going to be your top 2. Certainty is another one that we see a lot of, but if you can kind of pick out this person's personality type or their human need, it's going to be easier for you to close. So somebody who's very like growth oriented, you can challenge. I'm like, are you going to settle for less than 10 grand a month? Like, are we going to make this fucking happen? For those who are certainty based, you need to show a lot of testimonials. You need to show a lot of proof. You need to show a lot of the process. For contribution, show a lot of the community, the impact, how many clients they can help, and highlight a lot of that aspect in order for them to, to close. So something we'll train on. You don't have to fill this out. The coaches don't care about this. It more so is a tool to maybe help you in the closing.
Sales.
Yeah. Other notes, things in here, we like to put where they're located. So if somebody's in California, that's great. If they're a Pacific time zone, we may not put them with a coach who's Eastern time if their schedules aren't going to align. So we like to know kind of where they're located. Hobbies are great too. So my guy yesterday, professional bodybuilder, lives in California, from Texas, blah, blah, blah. Just like little notes about his family, has a wife, no kids, trying to get pregnant, just things that could be helpful for the coach to know. Obviously one of my guy yesterday, he's professional bodybuilder. Immediately I was like, he should work with Jackie, because Jackie is an IFBB pro and she understands the grind of having to run a business and go through prep and have, a large social media following. So they deal with a lot of the same things. Any guarantees, you can fill all this stuff out kind of at the end, but any guarantees that you offered or specials, usually put like investment guarantee here, or got 10% off for, whatever promo we might be running. So I'd like to put those in there just so you have it for your notes. What they're looking for in a coach can obviously be tied to their need. Any objections that you saw, that could be helpful to you, like very scared of commitment, objected to price, or needed to get the spouse involved. Any objections that you're dealing with, and then next steps. Next steps and objections, again, you don't necessarily have to put them here, but if you don't close somebody, I like to know kind of what's happening now. They didn't close. Are we following up with them? Are we getting the spouse on a call? What are we doing next? I fill this out while we're on the call. I don't share my screen. Don't share your screen with anybody. Don't let them see your notes on them. But you can take notes, and how I kind of have it laid out is like this. I'll have my notes pulled up here, and then I'll have my Zoom on the other half of the screen, so that way I can see
Love
them
it. Yeah.
at the same time. It's easy. I don't ever put their name under this until we're done with the call, because I don't also want them looking to see like, okay, that person's taking notes about me, or that document is about me. What is that? So I just leave it as like copy of call framework until I'm done with the call. And then I'll change it to their name and move it to a doc. But if somebody closes, what you're going to do is you're just going to highlight all of your notes and you're going to copy and paste them into the booking tracker. That way the coach can say, okay, great, I know where they're starting from before they get on their game planning call. The coach is going to be able to see kind of what they're all about, where they're located, what they're trying to do, where they're starting from, and just give them a lot of information to go into the game planning call with. Cool. Questions on that?
So will I tell them what coach they will have?
No, Alex is our coaching manager. She actually picks the coach, but that's why we have the section here of like, all right, what are they looking for in a coach? We can make suggestions. I'll put like probably going to be best with Jackie or Emily. So you can always look at that, but until you get to know the coaches, you might not know. I would just take in as many notes as you can about what they're looking for, what they need, and then Alex will pick the best coach. So you don't have to worry about assigning them. Yeah.
Okay.
And people ask like, do I get to pick my coach? Yes and no. You can just let them know, like, I'm taking a ton of notes based on what you need, what you're looking for, your learning style, and then I'll powwow with the team and kind of find the best coach for you. If for some reason they don't like their coach, we can get them a different coach. Like they can switch coaches. So if they're worried about that aspect, just we have a lot of coaches. If for some reason they don't vibe with their coach, we can always switch them to somebody else. They're not stuck with that person just because that's their assignment. Cool. Alrighty. So yes, just wanted to go over that. I'll have you start going through the sales script and just kind of like learning everything, but I want to run through the basics of that now. So let me just make this bigger so it's easier. All right. So you'll have the link to the presentation here too. So if you lose it, the discovery section is that call framework. So you can have this pulled up, but you probably won't need to. As you go through, we're just going to kind of like get to know them. Are we ready to jump into the call? Great. So here's the purpose of the call. You and I are just going to see, what your goals are, where you're starting at in your business. And if, you find alignment with the NLCA, if yes, fantastic. If not, no worries. You can find your own rhythm here. You do not have to say this word for word. I actually encourage you not to say the script word for word because it's going to sound scripted. So as you get comfortable with the script, you'll be able to kind of, how you frame it will be totally up to you. Normally I frame the call after the discovery section. Personally, I like to get to know them. I like to kind of like, oh, sweet. Hey, what's up? Chad filled me in a little bit on about your coaching journey so far, but tell me about you. And then I'll go through, the discovery. And then before I share screen for the presentation, I'm like, sweet. So Haley, what we're going to do, I want to share my screen, show you what NLCA is all about. If you love this program, that's awesome. If you don't, and you absolutely hate it, that's okay too, right? Not everyone's going to love this, but if you and I do find alignment, we can talk about next steps. If not, no worries. We'll leave here as friends. Cool. And it takes the pressure of the sale away. To where they know that if we have alignment, great, we'll talk about it. But if they hate this program, that's fine.
Yeah.
Nobody ever hates the program. Knock on wood. I've never had
Didn't think so.
Hate this. Terrible, terrible.
You guys are doing it all wrong.
Yes. Yeah. You'll have very, very, very few people ever like say that. So we'll go through the why. The biggest question that we want to know here is not why are we on the call, right? The answer you're going to get is because I need help. Or because I need to start a coaching business. More so, why do you want to start the coaching business? So why are we trying to get into the online space? Like, what are we trying to do here? I need more time with my family. I need to make more money. I coach in person. I work 11 hours a day and I'm sick of it. Those are the reasons that they're going to make a decision, not I need help. Sweet. Cool. So kind of trying to dig deep on the why. We'll have like feedback here. Where are they at? We definitely want to know, do they have clients now? Are they just getting started? What do they do for work currently? Do they enjoy that? Do they hate it? I love when people hate their job. It's a great sign for me when they're like, oh, I do, accounting. Like, sweet. Is that like your life's passion? Or are we trying to get away from that? Nobody's life's passion is to be an accountant. Like, it's just not.
That's a fact. That's a guarantee. I will guarantee
100%.
that you can get out of your terrible
150%. So if somebody's like, oh, I'm an accountant, I'm a teacher, I'm an engineer, sweet. Is that like your life's passion? Or are we trying to maybe do something different if we could? Well, I mean, I like what I do, but I don't love it. Great, cool. Life's way too short to wake up and not love what you're doing on a day-to-day basis, because what you do every day for work is the majority of your life. So I always like to set that little hook of like, how do we feel about this job?
Yeah.
Most of the time, if somebody's getting on a call with you, a good rule of thumb, if they're getting on a call with you, there's a reason that they're spending an hour of their time with a stranger from the fucking internet. No one that gets on this call is in love with their life or absolutely in love with their career if they're looking into starting a business. So even if somebody says, oh yeah, I love my job. Cool. Why are we here then? Why not just keep doing that? Well, it's not as fulfilling. Okay, great. So you don't love it. You're missing something, right? So we're trying to dig that out. What is the goal long term? Not just revenue though. Obviously money's great. Money's awesome. People want to start a business to probably make more of that, and that's great. But what would you do with that money, right? 10 grand a month, that's awesome. But what other doors does that open for your family? Maybe it's, I need to pay for my kids to go to fucking college. I want to take my wife on a vacation because we've never left the state that we live in. Maybe it's, those things are going to be the goals that we can tie back to the end of like, are you really willing to settle and not take your wife on that vacation to fucking Europe? Because if we don't do this, you're not gonna be able to do that. So we want to kind of get deep on their goals. What are their challenges? A lot of times people are great with coaching, especially if you're working with people who are currently coaches. They love the science part. They love the coaching part. Business is a foreign language, right? So most of the time they're like, I have no idea where to start. I need marketing, lead gen, sales. I need help with accountability, all those things. So this one's pretty black and white. What are they struggling with? What do they need help on? Great. Tried. These are all prompting questions. You don't have to go through this exact thing, but what have you tried so far in order to get clients or in order to get your business off the ground? How long did you do that thing for? How much money are you spending on that? Guy I met with yesterday spending $800 a month, $800 a month on a scraping tool. I'm like, you can get some of that shit for like 20 bucks a month. What are you doing 800 for?
Right.
No clients, right? That's crazy to me. Stop that. End that contract. You're done.
That's done. That's done.
So those are things we need to know, especially for your master coaching calls. Like, what are we doing currently and why isn't it working? Identify that. All right. If we keep going, you kind of dig deeper there. And then need. What do you need from a program? What do you need from a coach? Let's figure that out. Sweet. Cool. So here at NLCA, we do offer one-on-one coaching, or, kind of highlight the things that they need and what we offer. And then we can go into the presentation. So I would say rule of thumb is about 15 minutes here, maybe 20. If you have somebody who's talking a lot, I would definitely be taking notes on what they're saying in other sections and then coming back to that. So if you get on a call with someone, you're going to have those people that word vomit for like 20 minutes, and they might give you all the answers in one sentence. So I would save yourself some time. If you do get people that are highlighting, things in other areas, write those down while you're taking notes. So when you get to that part of the script, you can just, all right, so I know you've already said that you're struggling with X, Y, and Z. Are there any other challenges we want to add to that list, or just kind of sum it up? That way you don't have to ask every single question if they've given you the answers already, if that makes sense. Cool. So discovery is pretty simple. Where are we at? What's the goal? What are we struggling with? What have we tried? What do we need? Easy. Cool. Then we'll go into presentation. You don't really need, I wouldn't say you need to look at the script for the presentation, because the presentation is the script. You know what I mean?
It says everything.
Says everything you need. So if there's any specifics you're looking for, I would say the script is good to have up, because in here we do have the actual like call days and times. So if they ask, well, what time is the Wednesday call? At 6:30 p.m. So that's not in the actual presentation, but it's in the script. So if you need specifics, it's good to have that up. You can see who's coaching and what the theme of that call is every week. If you want help describing the like done for you programming, there's a whole section on that here. If they're asking specific questions that you don't know the answer to, you can find it in the script, but you've got pretty much everything in the actual presentation. You probably won't need to reference this too much. I think the biggest thing that's going to be, things that we need to learn is going to be the product, right? We need to know what we're selling, what's included with NLCA, getting comfortable with the discovery, and then the transitions. So at which point in the presentation do we stop share? Do we get back into share? What, points are we asking if they have questions, things of that nature. But everything will be laid out here. Master Coach, the call times are there. We've got 10K up top. Everything that's included in each, of the courses, and then we'll, pivot after you go through the modules. So after you go through presentation, show them the coursework, and then we're going to stop share. So usually when we're done with the, like going through the course, at that point, I'm like, all right, let's stop share. Let's get back on the same track. How are you feeling? Because I threw 100 million things into your brain, right? I always say something funny, like, I'm sure your brain's turned into mashed potatoes now. How are we doing? Any questions? Does it check all the boxes? We're just kind of having a break to take a breath and see if they are still okay and feeling good. We'll make sure, then we'll go back into the presentation. you don't necessarily have to go through guarantee. You have two options with the guarantee. You can use this before the pitch or you can use it during the pitch. If you know somebody's like certainty human need where they need to see the proof, they need to see that this is going to work, I might bring up the guarantee before the pitch just to, so that they know that we have it. But you don't have to offer the guarantee either. You know what I mean? It can be kind of like used as a bonus or a leveraging tool. So guarantee explanation is here. You click on that, you've got the actual guarantee breakdown as well if you need that. Human needs, we've got a whole document of the human needs that you'll see, things to listen to. You've got pricing here for 10K and Master Coach. You have links to all of the like financing options and then, what's included for bonuses. Questions so far?
No.
Cool. Perfect. So overall, homework for you will be just like going through the script, getting comfortable. I would start practicing the script with the presentation. You and I will actually go through mock on Friday. I will like be doing the call for you. You'll be the prospect. You'll listen to me go through it so you can see it all. But I'll get you some, recordings and stuff to kind of take over the next.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Alrighty, let's go back to this. We'll dive more into the actual side of things over the next coming days. So payroll, did who onboarded you? Casey, did Casey go through payroll with you? How to submit, how to do all that?
Not too in depth, no.
Perfect. So let's do that. Yep. You will have access to your timesheet. You won't have access to everybody else's, you'll just have yours. But this is where payroll is submitted. So let me just make sure she gave you access to that. Yeah, you're on there. Sweet. So how payroll works is at the, the 1st and the 15th or the, or the 1st of the 14th.
Yeah, it was the 1st and the 15th on the sheet.
Yeah, so this one you're going to have 9/15 to 9/30, right? That'll be the next pay period. So the date of the payroll is going to go here. In this like little caret, all of your commission is going to be listed here. So let's say we have Bob, we're going to get, 500 for him. And then we have Karen and she was a weekly. So that's going to be 620. And then we have Kevin, and he was bi-weekly as well. So that's gonna be 500. All of your commission will be laid out in this little like drop down. So you can see who you're getting paid out for and how much. So that way you can double check your records with theirs. So the payroll team will do all of this. Every time you get a close, they're gonna add to this sheet on like when they're supposed to be paid out. So you'll see, all right, my total in commission is gonna be 1620. I'll get to tracker bonus here and then sales bonus, but then you'll have your total that's being paid out. So they'll put the total here. And then payroll checked. This will be Sabrina or Kimmy, whoever does that. You will have to come in and approve it though. So you're going to have to come in and say, okay, I also have Bob, Kevin, and Karen on my commission sheet too. Everything looks good. I agree. If for some reason you have somebody listed that you're supposed to be paid out on that's not here, or they have somebody extra that you weren't accounting for, that happens sometimes. You're like, oh, fuck, I forgot about that person. I did not write them down. My bad. All that's going to be here. Now, if you have questions, you can submit that to Kimmy or Sabrina. They do payroll. But
should I keep like an Excel document for myself just to track, or is there another way that you guys want us to track in a different document?
We have, you can track them your own however you'd like. You will submit a template though.
Oh, okay, that's perfect.
Yep.
Yeah, that's what I was
so
curious about.
I'll share this with you. This is an example template. I would just say, make a copy of it. I have a couple. So when I was closing, I had 2 of these. I had a current pay period, and then I had everyone I ever closed.
Yeah, it's smart.
I kept a running list of every single person I ever closed on one, the date that I was going to get paid out on, because sometimes their payout dates are different, right? If somebody is on a massively extended payment plan and they've only put $600 down, right? We have to get to that minimum down before we get paid out on commission. So, May might be paid out October 14th instead of October 1st. This person, I do payout dates, not dates that they sign, but on my running sheet, I do payout dates. And then on my actual commission sheet, I'd put the date that they closed. So I kind of track 2 different things. So you'd have John Smith, I closed him on October 13th. Great. Jane closed on October 12th. Greg, October 10th. May, October 14th. Cool. On On my like running one though, I put the payout date instead of the date that they closed.
Would the payout date be like either the 1st or the 15th? Or would the payout date be like when they actually paid the company?
No, payout date would be when you're supposed to get paid for that person.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Just make sure.
Yeah. So, and that, I mean, you could track it however you want, whatever's best, you know, for your mind. My brain, I wanted to see exactly when I was going to be projected to get paid out for things. Cause, you know, Sweet
I
Pay,
like that.
that's a 12-month payment plan in-house. It's probably going to be 2 or 3 months before they hit minimum down before you get paid out for that commission. So it's like, you know, we're going to get paid out on that. But
You don't want to get your hopes up.
yeah, I like to track that. I'm like, all right, so if they're going to do 12-month in-house financing, it's going to be 3 payments before they've hit minimum down, which means, you know, if they sign today, September 20, October 20, November 20, I'll get paid out December 1st because they've hit minimum down on 9/20, you know, or November 20th. So I like to put the payout date and what's expected. Now, make a couple copies if you want to have, if you don't like this or want to use something different, that's fine too. But this will be the template you upload into monday.com. So you'll have a running list, make a copy, and then change the date. You know, today is 10/1, you know, whatever day you submitted on. The pay period, the day that you submitted it, and then your name. And then what we'll do is, here we go. You'll look at your sheet of commissions that you have, make sure it matches the ones that the VAs have, just to make sure they didn't miss anybody, or, you know what you're getting paid out on. And then all you're going to do is just upload the invoice here. And you could just like paste the link, right? You could share the link. If you click on like invoice, you can, you know, just drop the link, paste the link there.
And that was the what's it called? The closer in, yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, so this is due on the 1st and the 15th. Payroll's due by 11 CST. So it'll be 10 a.m. Mountain Time for you. So just by 10 a.m. Mountain Time, just make sure you have this uploaded to your payroll doc. Easy peasy.
Perfect.
So all you're going to do again is just check to make sure that the payouts match what you have. If there's questions, tag Sabrina or Kimmy, just say, hey, checking on payroll, or just message them one-on-one usually. You know, I have Bob here and I have that he should get paid out on, you know, next pay period, but you have him on this one. Is that right? You know, whatever. You'll upload your invoice and then good to invoice. They'll hit this when pay's been submitted. Super easy. Now, obviously there's other ways you can earn money, right? So commission's fantastic. Your sales bonus is your monthly bonus. This will always get paid out the 1st of the next month. So for the month of September, everyone's got a goal of a collected revenue. If somebody hits their bonus, they'll get paid out on the 1st, you know, the next time. So for this pay period, this would be where you track that. Did I hit my bonus this month? If yes, the team will already know that. You won't change this, but it'll already be listed here. So let's say you hit your bonus, right? And that was $2,500. Tracker error bonus. We do a lot of like fun things. Booking tracker errors is something that we check. I'm sure you saw maybe in the closers chat today, I said updates and I tagged Drew and said, you know, Ashley needs to be moved to not closed. What we do is we look at the booking tracker every morning to make sure all of your appointments from the day before have been updated. They're all kind of where they should be. Everyone's, you know, the bubble's been updated, notes are updated. If you go 90% of the month with having no tracker updates, like I don't have to call you out a bunch of times to get your, you know, to get your notes done, you'll get an extra $400 just for keeping your notes up to date. It's very simple. So Jeremy hits it every single time. Joey hits it every single time. Drew struggles. Honestly, love him. He cannot get it together with the notes. That's one area that we're working.
And then what are those notes? Is that like the stuff you put into the chat? Or
No,
is that on a different?
Yep, I'll go over the booking tracker notes for you. But if you hit that, this would be 400, and then you'll have, all right, commission. I just made math really hard for me, but you'll have the total here, right? So your total check's going to be, I'm just going to make it up, 4,300. So you'll know exactly what to expect for your payout.
Perfect. And then, so the sales bonus is 2,500. You just made that up.
I just made that up. Everyone's bonus is different. It depends on what your collected target is. So if you have like 300 call spots available for the month, you're probably going to get a lot of call spots. So your collected, you know, expectation is going to go, you know, be a little bit higher, but it just depends on what your collected goal is. Usually the bonus ranges between, you know, $1,000 to $4,000 in the month, depending again on what your target for collected is. The longer you're here, the more, like, the better you are at closing, the higher your collected goal is going to be, because you're probably going to close more people. And then the bigger the opportunity for bonus. Yeah. Perfect. All right, let me just delete this. So yeah, on the 1st and the 15th, you'll come in here, you'll see who you've got listed for commission. You'll see the totals, make sure it all lines up to what you have. And then you're just going to upload your invoice right here.
Okay, cool.
Easy peasy. I'll help you out your first one too. So on the first, you and I will go through that together, but easy peasy. Now the booking tracker bonus, this will be the main board you use. So this has all of our appointments listed on it. This is going to be all of your calls for every single day. So for example, I like to filter this so that way I only look at my calls. I don't like to see everybody's stuff on here. It's crazy, right? There's so much. So
Yeah.
if you hit the little filter button, you can just pick yourself. And then you can look at all of your calls you have booked for the month, basically. Who's scheduled still, who's, maybe not shown. Limbo usually means that they didn't show, or I'm having a hard time getting in contact with them. The 3 sections of the booking tracker you've got scheduled. This is anybody who's on your books, whether it's a new call or a reschedule or a follow-up. Anybody who's currently got a call booked with you at some point in time this month will be right here. Let me give you an example, because Thomas was my only call for today and he canceled. And I have not gotten him rescheduled yet. So I know. I know. Sad day. But
No, Thomas.
Yeah, Thomas decided he couldn't make it today. He had a work meeting. So he's going to be my update for today. I'm going to say nope, he did not show to his call. We are in limbo currently because we don't have anything on the books. We're not rescheduled yet. And then I'm going to update the bubble. So, and this is actually perfect that I didn't do this yet. So asked to reschedule due to work meeting. Trying to find a new time, but nothing confirmed yet. I like to just be detailed. If no update by, I usually give myself a day, 9/21, please reach out to rebook. Alyssa is one of our DMers. She does all of our limbo reach outs. So she's going to come in here every day and reach out to everyone who is in this section to try to get them rescheduled. But she's going to check the notes first. So I'm obviously indicating to her.
Would you move
Yep.
Thomas? Okay.
Yeah. So we'll move him. So he's no longer on the books. We're going to move to group. Let me just redo that one. To make it simple for yourself, you can just click the person, move to group, limbo. Now he's in this section here. Yep. So when Alyssa comes in this afternoon to reach out to anybody who didn't show, she's going to say, all right, cool. I don't need to reach out to him. Jess is trying to get him rebooked. But if I don't make an update that says I've gotten him back on the books, she knows that tomorrow she can reach out. I don't personally want to be sending times and dates if someone else already is. So I don't think Alyssa needs to reach out to him if I'm in actual communication. Now, somebody who just straight up doesn't show, like if he hadn't have told me he wasn't coming or that he couldn't make it and asked to reschedule, if we hadn't have had that dialogue, he just ghosted for whatever reason, I'd be like, please try to rebook, because he's obviously not responding to me. I would like someone else to try to get, to get in touch. So your scheduled section again is everybody that's on your books. So I've got, actually I'm going to take myself off of here because he got rescheduled with Drew. So that's no longer mine. Good. Perfect. Let's see. Yeah, Courtney, follow up. 2 new people for Saturday. Yeah, so just anybody who's on my books for this month at some point. Limbo, again, is people who need to be reached out to. So keep in mind, even if somebody, let's say you have a call that shows and you guys have a great call, but you haven't put them back on the books for a follow-up, don't put them in the limbo section. They go in limbo if you want someone to try to contact them.
Okay.
Yep. So if they're in this section, the DM team will try to reach out to them. The close section, pretty straightforward. That's people who close. So that's easy. When they close, you're going to mark them as closed. You'll go through and, put all their closed details in here. Again, we'll go through this on a different day. And then not closed are people who maybe I have on my hot list or my follow-up list that I didn't get them closed this time. We don't need to get them on another call at this point for whatever reason. You'll move them to not closed. Not closed doesn't mean forever. Not closed doesn't mean they didn't close. Not closed just means they didn't close on our call and I don't need the DM team to reach out to them. They're on my follow-up list. We're good to go.
What's the follow-up timeline for them?
That's totally up to you. So when we go over like how to do your hot list, your general list, and kind of follow-up procedure, it depends on the person. So on my general list, so those are people that are probably going to take a little bit longer. Those might be people I reach out to every like 2 to 6 weeks, depending resources, value, just to kind of stay top of mind. The hot list ideally are those that you have that are probably close to closing relatively soon. Like within the next 30 days, I think I can get this person to lock in. I'm probably going to follow up with them once or twice a week even. So it just depends on your person. You have full autonomy to decide how often you be contacted. Cool. Questions on that one? Beautiful. And then again, we'll go through actual training on this board.
So just like to do that, like for that bonus, it's just like saying if they showed up, saying if they closed, or limbo, and then writing in the bubble about what happened.
Yes. So I'm going to use Drew as an example because I don't actually have really any calls in the books because I don't really like to take calls if I don't need to. So
There.
okay, Drew's day, he has 2 p.m. and an 8 p.m. left. Looks like his 7 p.m. canceled. Great. So for him to have this day be complete, like he's not going to get called out for updates, I need to know, did these 2 people show? Are we following up with them? Are they in limbo? Did they not close? Did they close? At the end of the day, all this just needs to be updated. So what you need to look for is show, app status. If they're a follow-up or a reschedule, make sure you have the date and time that you're going to follow up with them listed. If they were already a reschedule and today was their rescheduled date, then we need to know, did they show to that reschedule, to that follow-up? So this would need to be updated as well. Cool. Call recording. So the link to your call recording from that will be uploaded here. And then the last thing is going to be a bubble update. So in the bubble, he's going to rate this lead out of 5. The DM team does that too. Sarah, our lead, goes through and grades the quality of the conversation. So both these leads were 4s out of 5s, which is great. Drew might get on the call and say, she's a 5. This was a great call. So we're always going to start the update with 3 out of 5, 4 out of 5, 5 out of 5, just how you felt the call quality was out of 5, and then give your update. Call went well. I don't know. Lena is a full-time in-person coach. Just a little overview of how the call went. How did it go? What are they struggling with? What are the next steps if we closed, if we didn't close? If they do close, you can just copy and paste your notes. You don't have to put a whole out of 5 or any of that stuff. If they close, just put the notes in there. If they don't close, that's where we kind of want to see an overview of how the call went and then what your next steps are.
Okay. So I can just add file and upload those notes that I took from the call.
Yeah, you don't have to do that. I mean, honestly, you could just copy and paste the notes. Like I just usually
cool.
Yeah. Copy and then just paste them right into the booking tracker. That way you don't have to worry about file. Make it easy. Yep. Copy and paste. And then if they don't close, just a quick overview of how the call went, a grade, and then what are your next steps? We have a follow-up on this day, or sending resources and adding to hot list, whatever is happening after the call.
Yeah.
Easy.
Cool. Got it.
And that's all you have to do. I mean, honestly, at the end of the day, when we go over beginning of day, middle of day, end of day, I'll kind of show you how to update all this stuff, how to submit your end of the day. Right now, you're good. But I would say as a strong suggestion to make your life easier, put yourself as the closer and filter it day to day. Like, here are all my calls for today. That way you don't have to like sort or search people.
Yeah.
Look at your people. You don't have to look at anybody else's. Now, if you want to look at your follow-ups, what is going to be different is that you have to unclick this. You have to unclick that. So these are now all of Drew's calls, but you can go to reschedule/follow-up date and make that today. So we can see that Drew had 3 new calls. He also had 3 follow-up calls. So he's going to go through and I make sure that these guys get an update too, right? So they're all text follow-ups. Trying to limit those. Drew does a lot of that. If they're text follow-ups, they're probably just going to go on the hot list. I don't know if we need them on the booking tracker. Text follow-up to me is not a scheduled call.
Yeah. That's not like a real follow-up.
Yeah, I throw caution to the wind on that one. But he'll just need to make sure that all of these people get updates on how the text follow-up went. Did we get them closed? Things of that nature. So does that all make sense so far?
Yeah.
Cool. Perfect. All right, let's keep cruising. So payroll is very simple. You're going to just track, your closes, how much you're going to make on commission, what the payout date is, and then just upload that to the payroll tab on the 1st and the 15th. Easy. Beautiful. Role specific software. So we are probably not going to get through all this today. So I may switch these. Yeah. We're going to do this stuff tomorrow and we'll do some of tomorrow's today because I think it makes sense with the route that we're going. So beginning of day, middle of day, end of day, and then ambassadors. So ambassadors are a great tool for NLCA. Ambassadors are current students or former students who have worked with NLCA in the Master Coaching Program or the 10KA program, and they're people that are open to sharing their story. So do they work for us? Yes. Do they make money? No, but they get like discounts on coaching. So you don't have to worry about them just hyping the shit out of us for no reason. So the ambassadors are great for us to use post non-close. So let's say you get on a call with somebody, we don't get them to close for whatever reason. I like to connect them to a student. So you kind of heard me talk to Drew about that. I feel like we're not using the ambassadors as much. There's a 30% higher chance that somebody closes if they speak to one of our ambassadors. So I say every time somebody doesn't close, try to get them connected to a student. Super, super powerful. Essentially, the point of the ambassadors is that they will schedule either a phone call or a Zoom call with the person you met with and just share their story. The pros, the cons, the good, the great, the ugly, all the things. And they will speak to your prospect for you. Normally, after they speak to a student who's been in the program, they're like, dang, this is great. I'm definitely going to move forward. So it just helps with a lot of that fear. What you will need to do if you're going to connect a call or somebody you've met with an ambassador is, I'm sure you've seen the ambassador chat. You are in that chat. You can mute that one too. But if you want to get somebody connected to an ambassador, what you're going to do is just drop a message in that chat and just say, hey, I've got, this lead, put the name of the person, and then just give us a little blip about them. I have this lead named John Doe, currently full-time personal trainer, in a gym, but really wanting to get in the online space, very nervous about technology, just a little blip about that person. So the ambassador knows, and then submit it. And someone will volunteer and say, I got it, connect me. Easy peasy. Then you're going to put them in a 3-way chat and then you can leave. That's it. So if they say, hey, I'll talk to John Doe for you, easy, easy peasy. Great. Thank you. Perfect. Let's put them in a group chat. So you're going to message the ambassador and the client, potential client. And I can send you like an example of what I put. It doesn't have to be like this. You can just say, hey, John, meet our client, Serena. They'd love to chat with you about, the fear or the financial struggle and see if NLC is a good fit. John, let me know when you guys have a time set or whatever. Usually I say, hey, so-and-so, this is Jess with NLCA. Wanted to connect you to Serena. I think you guys would really vibe and get along. I think she can definitely speak to a lot of the challenges you have. Let me know if you have any questions. Have fun. And then they will take it from there. You don't have to worry about anything else. They'll set up a time with that lead and get them on a call. So ambassadors are great. I would say feel free to use these in your back, have them in your back pocket for any leads. I love setting people up with ambassadors. So if you get off a call and somebody doesn't close, I kind of make it a requirement. I don't even give them the option. I'm like, do you want to speak to a student? I'm like, hey, honestly, I'm going to set you up with a student. I have someone in mind. Don't name names just in case that person's not available. But I have somebody in mind that I think is going to connect really well with you. I'd love for you to connect or, get to know them a little bit, pick their brain about their time in the program and see if it helps you, make a decision. And unless they say like, no, I'm good, I just connect them anyways. So any questions on that?
Is that just via text? Like I'll have the,
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was like, I don't want to put them in a WhatsApp chat if they don't have it.
Correct. Yeah, you could just do a text thread. It's usually easiest. Jen Richards is one of our ambassadors. She prefers WhatsApp. So if you do connect somebody to her, I always ask the person if they have WhatsApp first, and if they do, connect them. And if not, you can go to text. Outside of that, text is easy. Yeah. Cool. So ambassadors are there to share their stories with potential students, get them excited, help find clarity for them, and then help us close, basically. Beautiful. You don't have to do any of this stuff. That's all BAs. Yeah. Top part is for you. Rest of it, easy. Cool. So any questions on that?
No, I love that. I think that's great.
Beautiful. Perfect. Reoffers. So reoffers / follow-ups. The reoffer strategy is something that we send after the call to try to get somebody to recommit. Now, this can be a lot of different things. So if you have somebody who's really stressed about time, maybe they work a ton, they're worried about time, you could say, hey, listen, I talked to Chad. He definitely resonates with your story. He understands how busy you are. We'd like to offer you, if you do just, move forward with NLCA today or tomorrow, or however you want to put the urgency on it, we'll give you an additional month for free. So we have a couple of things that we can offer to try to get them over the line based on their challenges. Oh, I lost you, I think.
Oh, I'm still here. I'm just going to fill up my water bottle.
Oh no, you're good. Okay, perfect.
So I don't
So
want you to like look at like my empty chair. But I can still hear you because I have my AirPods on.
perfect. No, you're golden. So yeah, the reoffer strategy are just things that we do to try to get somebody to move forward after they've not closed on a call. You don't necessarily need to reoffer every single person. If somebody's like, hey, I'm moving forward and you guys have a follow-up scheduled for Thursday, I wouldn't give them a discount or more time if they're planning on closing. But these will be helpful for those that haven't closed and will probably take time to close if we want to try to get them in sooner. So different types of reoffer. We can offer more stuff for the same price. So we can offer them, the current price, but maybe we give them an extra one-on-one call. Maybe we give them a free month. Maybe we give them access to mini courses that are not in the current program. So we can give them extra stuff for the same cost. Usually though, we want to leverage something that's going to speak to the objection that they gave. If it's time, maybe we can give them a free month. If it's fear, we give them a mindset call with Lacey. If it's money, that's gonna be a different one. But if there's a fear that they have or an objection that they have that we can combat with more value, we'll do it. So here's a lot of different options that you can go through. Resources, extra calls. We can work with the coaching department. If you have someone specifically who struggles with mindset, let's reach out to Lacey and say, hey, I have this this person, they're going to be amazing. Would you be willing to do a mindset call with them, after they enroll? She almost always will say, of course, and that could be a 30-minute call with her to help them address some of that. So lots of extra stuff for the same price. Offering more time for the same price. This would be, again, adding on an extra month, extra, probably no more than 2, but we can always add on, an extra month or 2, depending on which program they're committing to for the same price. And then offering the same stuff for cheaper. So at this point, maybe if somebody's really struggling financially, but they want to make it work, they just can't afford like a 12-month payment plan, maybe we bump it out to 15. Try not to do that. That one's one that we don't love, but we can do.
I don't like that one either.
No. Nobody likes that. Again, every once in a while, again, this is not my favorite either, but giving them the pay in full price for a payment plan. Not preferred.
I don't like that one either.
Most of our more popular ones are just going to be, all right, if you sign today, I'll give you 10% off. Easy, 10% off the program. You sign today, great. Extended payment plans, that's going to be a 10% discount. The 10% reoffer is a pretty popular one. Jeremy loves that one. So if you got people who are struggling, maybe the financial side is what's holding them back. I always like to tie Chad back to it and like, Haley, listen, like, I know that this is something that's super important to you. I know that you're committed to this journey. I talked to Chad. He's excited about you getting started in this as well. I got the okay to chat with him, but we'd love to get you 10% off the program. Try to keep that between you and me, haha. But if we can get you locked in, I think I'll give you 10% off. Sound fair?
Yeah, right? Like, oh, we don't usually do this. Like, I just really know, like, I got to know you really well. Like, I see how passionate you are, and I really want to give you this opportunity. So, yeah.
100%. So, the cheaper options, we don't love that, but we can do it.
So this is only on like this. So you had your first call with them. They did not close. You scheduled another one. These are what you use when you have that second call to try and close them, correct?
Not necessarily. I mean, honestly, most times, like, let's say you and I have a call, you don't close, but you're like, I really want to do this. I'm committed. I'm going to sign up, next week, Tuesday. If we have a call next week, Tuesday, I'm not offering you any extra shit if you're just going to sign up. You know what I mean? But
yeah.
If somebody's not going to move forward because they're scared or because of finances or because of X, Y, and Z, then let's offer them a reoffer to get them to close. Or if it's going to take them a while to close, let's try to get them in sooner with a reoffer. So those will be the ones that, okay, this person's not closing. It's probably going to take me a while to work on them to get them closed, but maybe I can offer them something now as an incentive to close earlier than expected. But if you've got
so like if mindset is their thing and like they're on the fence about it, could I say like, this is our first like closing call together. Hey, like we actually do have a really amazing mindfulness coach. Like I would love to get you signed up today so you can get talking to her and then you'll be ready to start the program.
Yeah, 100%.
Like that? Okay.
Yeah. The reoffers, like this page specifically is, okay, we've gotten off a call. They don't close. If they don't have a follow-up booked or they try to cancel their follow-up or they try not to move forward, now we're going to offer stuff. Now we're going to get creative. Yep. So if they're not closing, let's try to get creative. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Cool. So you've got a lot of tools in your back pocket to make sure somebody gets over the finish line. Use them. Use those tools.
Literally.
Great, sweet. All right, reoffer, general list and hot list. Let's go through that. So I'll make you yours, but every closer has a follow-up board. So I'll give you an example. This board will get longer as you get more clients under your belt or meet with more people, but you're going to have a board. It's going to be totally yours. No one else has access to your board besides me and Joey. Joey will look to make sure you're doing your follow-ups, but you'll have your hot list and then you'll have your general list. So you'll have two. Let's go ahead. Just need to duplicate Joe's. Joe's no longer here with us. All right, cool, easy. So I'm gonna invite you to this board. Beautiful. Cool. So you're gonna have your hot list and your general list. So let's say you have a call with John Doe and he doesn't close and he's not gonna close for a long time. He's like, I want to start this next year. Like, fuck, it's a long time. So if we, for some reason, think it's going to be a while before somebody closes for whatever reason, we'll put them in your generalist section. I'm going to show you a trick to doing this instead of having to type everything out here in a second. So think of your generalist as somebody you want to keep in touch with, but it's probably going to be a longer game. You're probably going to be together for a while. Your hot list is going to be people that probably could close pretty soon. Like, I feel good about this person. I feel good that I can get them over the finish line relatively quickly. I would add them to your hot list. What we want to do is we want to keep track of the notes. We want to know when they first had their call, when you plan on reaching out to them. So usually for hot list in general, it's about a week or less after you've had your initial call. We want to reach out and just say, hey, just want to check in, see how you're doing, yada, yada. But do I have another board open? No. Not yet. So here's a trick. And again, I'll show you this again later on. But let's say I'm looking at all my calls and Aaron is on my hot list, this mug. Man, we've been working on getting him closed since November, almost a year ago. So let's say you met with Aaron and great lead, great call. He doesn't close. We want to put him on your hot list. What you can do from the actual booking tracker is duplicate your leads. We don't want to move them off the board, but if you highlight somebody, you can duplicate everything, all their items, all their updates. And then you can move one of those. So I would move them to a board, follow-up board, and put them in your hot list. Now, all of that just goes over there. You don't have to worry about typing everything out. Nice. Easy peasy. It's going to be on your hot list. So if we go to your hot list, we've got Aaron here. We have his original call date. This will auto-populate. For some reason, these two auto-populate. Let's just go ahead and say his first call was today. I'm going to plan on reaching out to him on the 27th. So when the 27th comes around, I know now that I have somebody I need to reach out to. I'm going to say, the day that I sent my first follow-up and the type of message I sent. Did we just check in? Just a quick, hey, how's it going? Family? Did we send a free resource? Did we offer them a discount or extended or reoffer?
Is that text or email?
Either or. I would say text is normally easiest. People see their text a lot more than they see their email. I email though my whole generalist once a month. So I do text follow-ups with all of them at once a month, and I email everybody once a month on any updates to the course and stuff. Personally, I just think it's easy. Completely up to you how you do this. You have autonomy in what types of messages you're sending for follow-ups. Now, what I want to see and what we need you to track for us are the big messages we're sending. So if you send a reoffer, great. I don't need to see that you guys carried on a conversation from that. So if I was to message you and say, hey, Haley, it's been a week since we spoke, just wanted to check in. I talked to Chad, yada, yada. I want to offer you 10% off. I'm going to mark that on the 27th, I sent you a reoffer. If you respond to me and say, hey, great, I'd love to hear more about it, we don't need to mark that you're having that conversation. Think of this board as sparking a new conversation. That's what we want to update here. Is every time you've reached out to create a new conversation, that's what we want to track here.
So it's like, they were like, oh my gosh, that's amazing. Like, can we hop on a call? That's what you tag.
Yep. And then cool. Book them for a call. You can do this however you want to. I don't know why this populated, but you can, do this however you'd like. It's gonna, auto put the date that they were booked, the closer. You'll have that information in here. You'll see who the DMer was, time, all that stuff. You don't really need that section. I would say we want to work on these four. Now, if I get through a whole month of messaging someone and they've never responded to me, I'm probably going to put them on my general list. I'm probably not going to stay on my hot list forever. So we do about, one message a week on the hot list and then move them down. And then they're going to be somebody that we message probably every couple weeks or, once a month, depending. Now, don't give up on these lists. I have people I'm still closing from when I started 2.5 years ago. So I message everyone until they tell me to fuck off. They will hear from me every week until the end of time because they come back. A lot of people come back. So we always want to just stay top of mind. Now, this could be as simple as a quick, hey, how's the family? Hey, what's going on? Reoffer, resources. Anytime we create a new mini course, I like to blast those out to everybody I've met with before so they've got more value, whatever you want it to be. Personally, I like to move them with the updates. So when I bop in here, I can see everything that we've been talking about since the very beginning. That's always a really easy way to just kind of keep refreshed. Again, being very true first, if you're here a year, 2 years, 3 years, you're going to forget people. You're going to have people on this list. You're like, I have no fucking clue who that person is. I have no idea what happened on that call. Notes are very helpful. So take notes, update the bubbles here. Notes will be helpful, especially longer term. Cool. Questions on that?
Chilling.
Perfect. Love it. So I'll remove Aaron though. What's nice too is all the sub items will move over. So on the booking tracker as well, if you're ever looking for anything, if you hit the little caret button, it's going to open up and show you their phone number, their email, their Instagram handle. So even on the normal booking tracker, you could hit that drop down. You'll have their phone number, their email, their Instagram handle. So if you're ever looking for contact information quickly, it's right in these little caret drop downs.
Cool.
Perfect. Alrighty. We have a lot of tabs open. Nope. There we go. Cool. Beginning of day, middle of day, end of day. Easy peasy. We are almost done. Cool. And then tomorrow we'll flip it and we'll do the docs. So beginning of day, middle of day, end of day. We have kind of like ideals of what you guys work on throughout the day. In the beginning of the day, there's a couple of things that we do want you to do. Joey, I'll do it for the next 3 weeks, but in the beginning of the day, I'm going to send a lineup, right? Every call that's on the books for the day, I just want you to check that and confirm or deny, right? So for example, I sent the lineup today. I laid out all of Drew's calls, all of Jeremy's calls, my calls. Drew gave me a thumbs up. Great. It means his lineup is good. Doesn't have to be anything crazy. You don't have to say anything. Just a quick thumbs up on the message will work. If there's something though that's off, that's when I want to hear about it. If you're like, I don't have that person on my schedule today, or I actually also have Bob at 4 p.m. He's not populating. I don't know why. Every once in a while, Joey might make a mistake and miss somebody, or maybe the DMers put the wrong date in the booking tracker, but they're actually on your schedule for today. So we just want to make sure that that is correct.
Everything's lined up. And that's in the full sales group, right?
The closers.
Or just closers?
Just the closers.
Just closers. Okay.
Yeah. So in the morning, just pop in when Joey posts that. It doesn't have to be right away. Just say, yep, this is good. That's what my day looks like. Easy peasy. Any messages from the night before. So we're going to send confirmation text the night before. So at the end of your day or wherever, just day before, you're going to message all of your calls for the next day, confirm that they can still make it. In the morning, if you hadn't heard from some of them, we're just going to send a follow-up. Hey, just want to confirm that today still works. Just another quick message. Make sure you do that. Here's the SOP for sending introduction texts. Again, I'll go through that with you when we start booking calls. Getting mentally prepared, whatever that looks like for you. For me, it's breakfast is a non-negotiable. Going to the dog park with my dog in the morning is a non-negotiable. I cannot function if I've typically not had a Monster or a coffee. And so there's something in my life that I need to do this in order for me to be ready for the day. Whatever you need to do to just get mentally prepared for your day, make sure you do that. If it's a meeting day, just making sure your projections are up to date. That's more of an end of day task, but just making sure you're good to go. And then checking your closer client log, which I'll go over in just a few, to make sure you have done all of your reach outs. So your hot list, your general list, and you've done all of that. Questions here? Cool. The beginning of the day is more so, is the lineup right? Are my appointments confirmed? Am I ready to take on the day? Cool. Perfect. Middle of the day. Obviously for you, it's going to be a little bit different because you're taking calls at night. So you're not going to really have middle of the day tasks, but for the closers who are working all day, middle of the day, if you're on calls, you are selling. If you're not on calls, you're doing your follow-ups whenever you want to. For me personally, I like to time block about 30 minutes each day to do all my follow-ups. Takes me maybe 30 minutes or less to contact 40, 50 people. So I would say before your first call, so let's say your first call is at 4 p.m. at 3:30, sit down, do your follow-ups, you're done, you know it's over with. So if you're on calls, we're on calls. If you're not on calls, we're working follow-ups when you can. Questions on that? Cool. Now, end of day is where it gets a little thick. So end of day is not that difficult. There's a list of things we want to do. Overview of what we're going to do is we're going to make sure that any of the calls that you've had for the day that didn't close, if they belong on a hot list or general list, get them moved over. So get them moved over there, make sure that that's good to go. So anybody that you've had a call with that should go on a hot list at the end of the day, make sure you put them on your hot list. Updating your booking tracker. That's what we went over today of just, did this person show? Did they close? Did I update the bubble? Did, what's their app status? Are they in limbo? Are they not closed? Just making sure your actual booking tracker is up to date. Sending your report. I'm sure you've seen that in the chat. Again, when you start taking calls, I'll go through that with you. You won't have to send it in a day until then. But on that end of day, you're going to go through and update, how many sales did you have? Who showed? Who didn't? But we'll go through that when we start booking calls.
Cool.
Follow
and then the bell is just if you close someone?
Yeah.
Basically? Okay.
Yep. The bell's for closes. Yep. And for bookings. Any questions there? Beautiful. Perfect. So you'll send that in the WhatsApp chat. End of day is due at 6 p.m. Central. Sometimes it comes in a little bit later. Obviously, you're going to be taking evening calls. So that's 5 p.m. for you. So that being said, you can always submit it, even if it's not completely done, and be like, all my calls are later or whatever it is.
Okay.
And we can edit it later, but I just want to kind of see what we're working with at that point. Easy peasy.
Okay. I'll be like, I haven't taken a call yet.
No calls yet, all later. We'll go through actually like filling that out. I personally just copy and paste the end of day in my notes on my phone, and then just copy and paste that every day to the closers chat, and then copy and paste each section of call to the booking tracker. So you don't have to like repeat yourself. A section of the end of day that you submit to the chat is going to be kind of doing an overview of how all of your calls went. So you put like, Bob, new call. Here's an overview. Just copy and paste that to the booking tracker, or copy and paste from the booking tracker to your notes. So you don't have to retype out every single.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Just make it easier for yourself. And I
Smarter,
talk
not
all of
harder.
that. Yep. So if I get, let's say we get, on a call, you and I are on a call, we don't close. I'm going to take 30 seconds right after my call is done, before I let my next person in, to talk to text in my notes section of my phone and be like, call with Haley, 3 out of 5, 4 out of 5, whatever it is. Overall good call, period. Looking for X, Y, and Z, goal of this, follow up here. Talk to text, save yourself some time, and copy and paste in the booking tracker. Easy. Easy, easy. Beautiful. Perfect. Closer client log. This is going to be something that's relatively new, but you also will have access to this board. And I'll send you a list of boards that you're just going to like do, each day. But your closer client log. So this is every single person you've ever signed. Every single person you've ever signed will be here. Well, not ever, but any active student you have that's signed. What's going to happen is, let's just look at a recent one. So Drew signed up Jake Wilkins on the 19th. You do not add anything to this board. The VA team will do this. You do not have to worry about adding your people here. The VA team will do this. So you're going to have the person's name that you signed, their phone number, the day that they signed, 3 weeks after they've signed, what that date is, what their halfway date is, and then when their expiration date is. So what we do as closers is to keep the relationships alive with our prospects. We're going to reach out to them 3 weeks after they join, halfway through their program, and 3 weeks before they expire. There's a whole script in there. And what's going to happen is 3 weeks after they join, you're just going to mark messaged. Great, we did it. And you're just going to send them a, hey, how's it going? What's happening? How's it been in an LCA so far? How are you doing? Just a very quick, how are you type of message. Halfway through the program, we are going to ask them to re-sign early. So you're gonna have an opportunity to make some money earlier before their expiration date. So halfway through, hey Jake, we're halfway through the program. This is crazy. Time flies when you're growing a business, yada, yada. How are things going? Great, get a response. Sweet. Just to let you know, we do have a discount for anybody who wants to re-sign early. I know we're halfway through, so I'd love to kind of get on a call, show you how that works. They will get 10% off if they re-sign early, which is nice. We have a lot of people that do that. So you'll just mark when you messaged them, easy peasy. And then 3 weeks before they expire, really again, just like, hey, how are we doing? We only have a couple weeks left of the program. Just want to make sure you're good. The reason we do this, one is obviously we have opportunity to resign early to make money earlier, but two, so that way when you get like when their 4 months is done, they've already talked to you a few times. You know what I mean? It's not like we met with them, we sold them, and then 4 months later we're trying to sell them again. We've kept the relationship going throughout. So I'll send you a list of like things to look at. But if you want, I don't know if you're on this board yet. Probably not. Nope. I created this board, and you don't have to use it. It's optional, but it's going to show you things that you need to do in the beginning of the day, middle of day, and end of day.
Awesome.
That way you're like, what am I supposed to do with all this stuff? Here it is. You got it laid out. Beginning of the day, make sure you did it. Great. It'll all be here. Let me duplicate. So I like a task sheet. I love a to check.
I love a checklist. Oh my God. Checking stuff up.
Yeah. Feel free to come in here and just, all right, I did this. Great. This is complete. Confirm lineup, done. Updates, working on those. I responded to availability, done. You know, you can go through and just check everything off. It's a great board. Just, did I get my shit together today? Easy peasy.
Cool.
Optional, you don't have to use it, but it's there if you want it. All right, so we'll go through that more in depth again once you get into actually taking calls. But overall, essentially the beginning of the day, we just want to get prepped. We want to make sure our appointments are confirmed. We want to make sure the lineup is confirmed, and we want to be mentally prepared. Middle of the day, we're just kind of doing those, activities. Am I doing my follow-ups? Am I ready for my calls? And then end of day, it's more just a recap of the day and doing all of your reporting.
Got it.
Cool. Perfect. All right. So what we're going to do, we're ending just a little bit late. Again, I'm going to convert this and send this over to you. I sent yours from yesterday this morning. So what I want you to do is start going through the script, start going to the presentation. So get comfortable there. We're going to actually start role playing on Friday. I'll send you over some of these SOPs to look through on like how to do follow-ups, why we're doing closer client relationships, ambassadors. And then tomorrow we will go through how to do all the stuff. Wave, DocuSign, fund my contract, all that.
Okay. I don't think I got Kajabi. I don't know if you sent it this morning, but I know I'm still not in Kajabi. I have Wave, I have DocuSign, I have Keeper Security, Calendly, and Monday.
Beautiful. Okay, let me message Casey again to get you in Kajabi and make sure we're good there. Awesome.
Perfect.
Beautiful. Okay, so tomorrow we'll go through how to do this stuff, and then Friday we're going to start actually like going through the script, practicing. Friday we'll focus on discovery and then the beginning of the presentation. Monday we'll go through presentation and pitch, and then we'll tie it all together, and hopefully by the end of next week we're ready to take calls.
Awesome. I'm pumped.
Cool. Let's go. I love it. Okay, sweet. Let me know if you have any questions. Give me a little bit of time, but I'm going to convert this over. I'll send it over to you here in just a little while. And then, yeah, we'll be rocking and rolling, starting to get into it.
Perfect. I will see you tomorrow.
Still feeling good?
Yeah.
Perfect. Awesome.
Super pumped.
Beautiful. If you have any questions, just let me know.
Cool. Will do. Thank you.
Yes.
Have a good.
All right. Bye.